Hey everyone, Joan here. Decided to take you guys for a walk today. And today I want to talk about intuition. I just feel like a lot of people these days are looking for answers and don't realize that they have intuition or don't know how to use their intuition. So I want to go over that. So first of all, what is intuition? Intuition is an inner knowing. It's like an inner wisdom, inner knowledge. And whatever it is that you believe in, it's like your soul speaking to you, your higher self, or God speaking to you, the universe speaking to you, or the God within yourself, whatever it is that you believe. But it's basically an inner knowledge, an inner knowing. You just know. Your intuition just speaks to you, especially in moments where you need to make a decision. And so it's one of those things that, like, sometimes it's hard to tell if your intuition's speaking to you. And I'll get into that as to why. One of the important things you need to recognize is that when it comes to intuition is being able to tell the difference between intuition and logical thinking. So with intuition, it's usually kind of random. Like, it comes out of nowhere. And a lot of times you can't even tell where that came from. Like, where did that answer come from? Where did that solution come from? A lot of times with intuition, there's like really no basis for it. And you just know. You know, when they always say, when you know, you know. With logical thinking, it's based on experience. It's based on known facts, known factors. And the thing with logical thinking is that it can also create anxiety, because, you know, with anxiety, it can be confusing with intuition, because anxiety is like a fear of the unknown, fear of the future. And sometimes you can't really tell if it's your intuition or if it's just you feeling fear because of something you've been through. So those are things you just need to be able to tell the difference. Now, as far as my intuition, I feel like it's pretty good. Sometimes I still doubt myself, but for the most part, I think I do all right with my intuition. And I've had some really profound moments where I trusted my intuition, and other times where I didn't. Sometimes it's something small, and sometimes it's something pretty big, and I'll go into that. You know, like, an example of something small would be like, let's see. Oh yes, so a couple weeks ago, we just played a gig, a wedding, and for some reason, my husband decided to bring both his shoes. You know, he already knew he wanted to wear his brown ones, but he also brought his black ones. And he just brought both his shoes for no reason at all. And then what happened was that on our way, we found out that one of our bandmates forgot his shoes. We drove to the gig, and then it turned out that he had the same shoe size as my husband. So my husband's little intuition provided shoes for someone missing shoes. Otherwise, he would have played barefoot. Another thing with intuition is, like, you can also, like, read energy, sense energy of, like, places, people, things. And an example of what happened with me, with the two times I moved. First time I moved into the house in LA, I remember walking into the space for the first time, just checking it out. Didn't know if we were going to get approved for it. Checked it out. I just knew where to walk. I knew exactly where my bedroom was going to be. I just walked in. I could just picture everything so easily. I didn't understand why. But I ended up living there for 4 years. And then most recently, you know, checking out apartments out here in Ventura County. And there's one particular one we walked into. We didn't think we could get it because it was beyond our budget. But for some reason, I just knew I was going to live there. So I live there now. So it's kind of funny how that works. Another thing that's been it's been pretty wild for me to think about. I haven't really told anybody about it, but a few months before the pandemic happened, I remember having this random thought. And what was happening at that beginning of the year, my business was taking off. We were booking gigs left and right, and it was going to be a really exciting year. We were going to play every month. And a few months before the pandemic, I had this weird thought, and I could not shake it, that I just thought, what if all our gigs got canceled just for some crazy reason? And I didn't know why I thought that. It was just like, just came out of nowhere. And later on, I just came to accept it as like, oh, maybe I was just having that anxiety, even though like I felt so good about where the business was going. But yeah, a few months later, pandemic hit. All the gigs were either canceled or postponed, and that really tripped me out. So that's an example of a really huge intuitive moment. So now when it comes to intuition, why do some people feel like they don't have it, or don't know how to use it, don't know how to trust it? Well, the problem is we're just really distracted in modern society. There's so much information, so much to absorb. We have the internet, we have social media, we have television, and we're just so caught up in conceptual thinking, which really blocks us from becoming our natural selves. And we just have so much on our minds, so much that we think about, that we have just lost touch with our intuition, just lost touch with our inner being. And so, how do we strengthen our intuition? Or more of, how do we strengthen our ability to use and trust our intuition? So, first of all, get rid of the distractions as much as possible. I know it's tough because we live in modern society. We've advanced so much. And again, the conceptual thinking, which I will get into in another video because it gets pretty deep. But what I mean by conceptual thinking is like, the concept of having a car, the concept of, ordering food and having it delivered to your house, or the concept of wearing blue jeans versus khaki. What a concept, right? But getting rid of distractions or removing them as much as possible, or having moments where you can remove your distractions. And then, so brings me to the point of, being your natural state of self, being in the most natural state of being, where, you get in touch with nature, become one with nature. That will help you tap into your intuition. And, like when you think about animals, they have really strong intuition. They just know things, like they know when their owner is coming home even though they're miles away, because animals don't have conceptual thinking. They're just in their most natural state of being, which is something like humans just don't have, or have just lost touch with. So get in touch with nature. If it means just going to the park, or going to a nearby forest or ocean and just putting your feet in the sand and the grass, or touching the trees, just be one with nature and see if your intuition speaks to you in those moments of silence and peace. Because when you're with nature, in nature, you become more of your natural self, away from distractions, away from the material world. And also with meditation, that's another way for you to get in the most natural state. Like separating yourself from your thoughts and your body and your physical surroundings. That will also help you tap into your intuition. So you need to practice or have moments where you can be in your most natural state. Another thing, super important, is actually like the first thing I should have mentioned, but it's taking care of your body. Take care of your body. Pay attention to what you put in it, what you consume. You know, unfortunately, a lot of our foods these days have toxins and chemicals and metals, and those things will affect your intuition because your body does not like those things, and so you don't think clearly, you can't see things clearly, and you can't tell when your intuition's speaking to you. And, you know, we always say, you know, trust your gut, you know, or I had this gut feeling. It's because it's true. Your gut is, you know, like the main vessel that communicates things with you. You know, when you get these nervous feelings, you have butterflies in your stomach, you just have like this funny stomach, like painful feeling when something's about to happen, because your intuition is communicating with you. If you're not hearing it in your head or listening to your intuition in your head, it communicates through your body. You know, you get goosebumps, you get stomach aches, you get butterflies in your stomach. So, sorry guys, my camera died. Anyway, so trust your gut, but take care of your gut. It's really important. So, probably the first thing I should have said to strengthen your ability to use your intuition is just by using it as often as you can. And what I mean by that is just practicing every time you feel your intuition is speaking to you. Like you're going out for a walk, and for some reason you had an inkling to bring a jacket. Well, because it turned out later on that it's cold outside. Or, you know, that urge like, oh, bring an umbrella, or like, you know, wear shoes instead of flip-flops because it's gonna rain. So little things like that, you know, just follow your intuition. Even like the things that you eat, you know, your intuition tells you like, don't eat that. Like, or you know, like people know when they shouldn't eat something. You know, how many times have you been like, oh, I shouldn't eat this, but it looks so good, but we eat it anyway. So listen to your intuition for small decisions, just to get used to it, get better at it, and you work your way up to bigger decisions. And that's going to help you, you know, develop that skill, that ability to listen and know when your intuition is speaking to you. And I know it can be scary when you make big decisions, but a lot of times, I mean, for me at least, when I think, you know, my first thought about something, usually I'm right. And I'm sure a lot of you have done that. So trust it, you know, just practice it. I mean, not saying take a risk on something, your intuition, but you obviously have to like think it through, you know, use your logical thinking, but practice with small things. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, I feel like I see a lot of people just losing touch with their intuition. I see a lot of people looking for answers, looking for knowledge, looking for wisdom, and they don't know where to find it, but it's always been within you. You know, the answers have always been within you. There are so many times I'm sure you've been through a situation where you're like, oh, I knew this. I should have listened to myself. I should have listened to my gut. So use it as often as you can. You'll get better at it. And you'll find that you've always had the answers within you. You know, you don't need to look to other people. I mean, yes, other people can help you, but you know yourself better than anyone else, especially when you trust your intuition. Your intuition just knows. You just know. When you know, you know. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.